By 1946, it became clear that Britain will have to leave India. The economic crisis in Britain due to the Second World War, victory of Labour Party in the election of 1945, frequent rebellions of the British Indian Army, and psychological shift of Indians in the administration made it clear that Britain cannot continue any longer. In this backdrop, three ministers of the British cabinet came to India to carry out the negotiation. The cabinet mission was the last attempt of the British to keep united India. The objective was to transfer the British power in the hand of the single Indian administration. Cabinet mission's plan offered three-tiered complex federation system with a weak central government. The plan pitched by the cabinet mission divided provinces of India into three groups. One group constituted Hindu majority provinces and two other groups for the Muslim majority provinces in the eastern and western frontier. The central government of the Union will control defense, foreign affairs and communications. Rest of the power will be vested in the provincial government. By this, the cabinet mission tried to strike a balance between the demand of the Congress for united India and Muslim League's demand for separate independent states for the Muslims. Eventually, Jinnah agreed to this proposal. Nehru, who was hoping for a strong central government, after much deliberation declared that Congress agrees to this plan but added a condition. Congress said that provinces must be free to join any group, or if any province want to stay out of this grouping, they should be allowed to do so. By such condition, Muslim League rejected the plan and called for general strike from 16th August 1946 to achieve their dream of Muslim-dominated Pakistan. The general strike announced by the Muslim League was termed as Direct Action Day. The massive gathering in Maidan on 16th August triggered a riot that turned into the Great Calcutta Killings, where at least 4,000 people died by 19th August. The communal harmony and dream of united India were demolished from 16th August 1946. The news of the riot in Kolkata sparked further riots in other places. Around 7,000 Muslims were killed in Bihar, a lesser number of Hindus in Noakhali, where Gandhi visited, hoping to bring an end to this communal violence, but with no success. Meanwhile, in Punjab, civil disobedience brought down the provincial government, which ultimately resulted in another riot there. Ensuing the communal violence, British government, already impoverished by the war, decided to transfer the power by June 1948. When it became increasingly clear that partition is the only way out of this riot, Hossein Shahid Sohrawardi, the premier of the province of Bengal, proposed to create independent sovereign united Bengal. Meanwhile, Sharath Chandra Bose, a leader of the Forward Bloc, proposed sovereign socialist Republic of Bengal. Though there were differences between these two leaders, they have one common goal: to prevent the partition of Bengal. When the plan was presented before Gandhi and Jinnah, both of them agreed to this proposal. However, as Joya Chatterjee has explained, the local Congress preferred the partition of the province. They feared Muslim domination in United Bengal, as Muslims were majority here. Finally, Jawaharlal Nehru formally declared that Congress would agree to United Bengal only if it remains in Indian Union. Later, West Bengal decided to join India. Thus, the last attempt to keep Bengal united failed. British Prime Minister Clement Attlee appointed the last Viceroy, Lord Mountbatten, to execute the partition plan. By the time Mountbatten took office, a united India was out of question. His original plan was to meet with the Indian politicians, observe the situation, and then hand over power in 1948. However, he soon realized that the thoughtless killing that was going on in India will keep worsening, and the British people will have to take the responsibility of this massacre. So he decided to hand over the power by August 1947. The post-war economic situation of Britain also motivated him to leave India sooner than they expected. Mountbatten followed the path of creating two dominion states, India and Pakistan, and also decided to divide the two large provinces, Bengal and Punjab, because these two were the provinces where communal riots were worst. Sir Cyril Ratcliffe was responsible to demarcate the line between these two countries. He drew the border within 5 weeks on the basis of religious demography. Thus, two countries, India and Pakistan, was created on 14th and 15th of August on 1947 on the basis of religion. Although the partition plan was decided by 12th August 1947, it was not published until 17th August. This is the map that was created in 1947. The border dividing Bengal and Punjab is known as the Radcliffe Line. It was named after the chairman of the Border Commission, Sir Cyril Radcliffe, as Radcliffe ultimately made the final determination on the frontier. The partition left millions of Muslims on the Indian side and a lot of Hindus on the Pakistan side, which ultimately sparked in the mass migration after the declaration of independence. The haste with which the transfer of power took place and the secrecy maintained about the border increased the intensity of massacre. Sikhs, Hindus and Muslims were massacred indiscriminately. Trains carrying refugees were frequently attacked. This immense loss of life and other similar violence convinced people that they were safe as long as they lived with their own community. Within few months, around 5.5 million Muslims migrated to Pakistan and 5 million Hindus and Sikhs migrated to India. Overall, around 12 million people were uprooted by the partition. The ill-managed and ill-equipped administration could not control the refugee crisis due to this partition, which resulted in the death of around 1 million people. These are the suggested readings for this lesson. You must read the first book, A Concise History of Modern India. Read chapter 7 from page 203 to 223. You must finish reading these pages before you join online discussion session. If you have any query regarding this lesson, you can ask your teacher during your online discussion session. Your next topic is colonial attacks on language and culture. Thank you.